Start in a second.
Oh, there it goes. Never mind.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Commonwealth Esports. Today we have Lionheart Esports versus Monster Mash. Teams are already done the pro draft, so we're going to be doing selections right now. Lionheart's Esports drafted a Morgana, Vi, Urgot, Misfortune, and Braum, while Monster Mash drafted a Zac, Janna, Vladimir, Ezreal, and Yasuo.
Yes. Hi everyone again. I'm back. Big Black Rainbows here. Gonna be trying my best at the play-by-play action. As Ginger already mentioned, we did already do the pro draft, so there's no surprises for us, so to speak, regarding the picks bans.
Just lane assignment. Magic Milk is the E-sub for Monster Mash, and looks like he's going to be picking up the Yasuo, landing up against Morgana mid.
Yeah, we were Ginger and I were kind of mentioning before the picks that if someone didn't pick the Yasuo when the Yasuo music was being played, it would be extremely disappointed. So shout out to Magic Milk for doing that.
Coming through.
Yeah, coming through in the clutch.
Looks like he's taking the cleanse mid lane, which is most likely a smart choice. There's a lot of crowd control on Lionheart Esports team. Only thing that really can't be cleansed is Vi, but Braum passive and Morgana root are good sources of CC to cleanse yourself from.
Yeah, Lionheart Esports, as far as their team comp, definitely drafted a relatively lockdown heavy team, and then the Misfortune pick really emphasizes that, where if you get a good Braum ult, a good Vi ult, we can definitely get that ult damage from Misfortune onto at least several members, so it was a really good idea with that pick.
It'll be on Magic Milk to work around that with his win wall, try to nullify the damage. Monster Mash also drafted one of the safest bot lanes, one of the most resident sleeper bot lanes in League of Legends, Ezreal Janna. So I'm not expecting very much attention from new meta EDU to be going down there, or Islamic Samurai. Braum is good at shrugging off a lot of damage, and Ezreal Janna doesn't provide very much help in a gank. So a lot of pressure towards the mid and top lane, if anywhere, from these junglers.
Absolutely. The Monster Mash side also did pick a lot of scaling, so the Ezreal, Yasuo, and Vladimir are all, in my eyes, ticking time bombs, so to speak, of when they officially come online. And if Vladimir has access to the backline of Lionheart, I think that one shots will be coming through quite frequently, so I'm excited for that.
Just from the lobby, it looks like American Liquor has decided to take Misfortune, putting the Rat is Pleased on the support role, which is not their standard comp, how the team usually plays out. But interesting choice. She's probably more comfortable on the champion than anyone else.
Yeah, it's definitely did not see that coming. The one thing I do want to point out real quick is Braum has decided to take the exhaust, which in the bot lane 2v2 I don't think is going to be extremely helpful, because obviously Ezreal has his arcane shift and Janna has infinite slows and tornado. But I like it for the Yasuo, so we'll see how well that decides to be worked out as the game progresses.
I think bottom lane is going to be the resident sleeper farm fest. So I think
Yep.
the exhaust is going to scale significantly better towards the later parts of the game than an ignite would.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here we are in spectator delay. I'm gonna do the casual LaRue plugin here and remind everyone that we do have 3 games today, and this is just the first of 3. The next 2 are going to be we have G3 versus Nocturnal Dragons, and then the last game tonight will be RAR versus Meteor Ochre at best. So be sure, if you're here right now, stick around. We have a couple more eventful games that are going to be happening tonight.
Also, check out the Discord. Woo!
Yeah, Discord has been, as of lately, a lot more active. So if you aren't in it and would like to, I believe the link is on the bottom of the stream. Come on and join us. We have a great banter room. We like to throw a lot of shade and have a lot of fun. So come join us.
Season 2 will be ending. I think this is our last week before playoffs. So hopefully, turnaround of the new year. We'll have season 3 coming out. So come in, join, try to make a team, try to join a team. Good group.
Absolutely. We're as a Discord, we're still looking for teams. So if you want to enter one in, feel free to. But as we're got another minute 30-ish left, I'm gonna throw this one to you, Ginger. What do you think of the overall team comp? Which one are you giving the edge to so far?
I think Lionheart Esports drafted. We already said they have a very good lockdown comp. They have a lot of tools of a lot of pick potential, and that plays well into more less LCS, more solo queue esque kind of games. Because the less coordinated you are, the less likely you're going to be moving in a group. So I think they can use those tools effectively to just grab members out of nowhere and take them out before a fight starts. While if there's a lot of coordination on Monster Mash's side, I think they have the better team fighting comp. Vladimir goes crazy in team fights. Yasuo, if there's a minion wave, can go nuts in team fights. Especially Zac is a good tool to get up, the 4 or 5 man knockups. And then Ezreal Janna is going to be hard. Like Vi is going to have a hard time finding a good target to hit because if Yasuo sees Vi coming, hits the wind wall, it can negate a lot of the damage coming from the Misfortune and Morgana. I think it'll come down to how coordinated the teams are, whether or not which team comp is going to work more effectively.
Yeah, and as Spectre Delay is finishing up, I agree with you. I think the more team fight heavy comp is obviously Monster Mash, but I think the pick potential, if it gets online, is much more prevalent with the sports team for sure.
And it also matters, like, if you pick somebody with the Morgana or the Vi, like, can you kill them in time is also important. If they're so behind in money and damage, it's not going to matter if they caught them.
Absolutely. So now as we're into the loading screen, we see the majestic Empress Morgana, which I think we've seen every game that Morgana has been played. So,
Loaded too fast.
You said it loaded too fast?
Yeah, I'm already in.
Oh.
I still think that Lionheart has the better, or sorry, Monster Mash has the better skins. Odyssey Yasuo, Academy Ez, Bewitching Jenna. I don't like that Misfortune skin.
I don't either. For whatever reason, the gun goddess Misfortune, I wish they would have done better. But anyway.
So, quick talk about runes. Pretty standard runes from the top laners. Standard rune for Zac with Aftershock, but lethal tempo Vi. Usually Vi goes Electrocute, Hail of Blades, maybe Conqueror, but that's an interesting lethal tempo choice. Hopefully, ooh, and grabbed the Doran Shield. That has to be a mistake. Looks like they're going for a 5-man stack, trying to catch somebody slipping.
Yeah, they're doing the typical invade here. It looks like, but to your
Started
point
out.
of the Doran Shield, I think that new meta EDU is forgetting he's playing the jungle role, so we'll see how that.
That is definitely a mistake.
Absolutely, because now not only is he gonna have a hard time clearing his buff, but he won't get that level 2 off whatever camp he decides to start with. But here you see a ward did spot out the 5-man invade by Lionheart. And doesn't look like anything is really going to come of this except for a little poke here and there from Ezreal.
Yeah. Ezreal spotted out the new meta EDU as they were stacked up in the bush, so they just backed up, put down a ward, just conceded the little bit of pressure that they had. Aside from that, fleet footwork on Yasuo to survive lane a little bit better. Doesn't scale as hard, but helps survive lane. Press the attack, and Guardian standard for that bot lane, and then Klepto Arcane Comet, poke Gianna. Standard runes aside from the Vi choice. Interesting to see how this works out.
What's the timestamp on the stream currently?
Stream's gonna be a little bit behind us just because stream delay, but 153, 154.
Oh, okay. Alright.
If you ever feel like you're behind, just press the plus button and it'll speed you up. Alright, so new meta EDO went back, sold his items. He's now has enough for the machete. No pots, just the machete. Notice his mistake.
Yeah, and notice as well, he's still that level 1, so even though he did do his red buff, he still only has that level 1 currently.
Very punishing mistake. Hopefully, Islamic Samurai saw that when they went in, when Vi showed up on Vision for the invade. They saw that, so he'll go in, try to pressure. He's going to be level 3 after taking those Raptors, so he can go in for either an early gank, maybe top lane, since Spiked Gene is all the way pushed up, maybe mid lane. Zack's level 3 is not the strongest, but it's doable. He gets a lot stronger at level 4 to get that extra range on his E.
Absolutely, yeah. And even though it does look like Zack is just doing a full clear, I believe, new meta EDU finally did hit his level 2 and everything else just going normally so far. Looks like, as you mentioned, the farm fest here in the bot lane.
Resident Sleeper.
Yep.
Sume is doing a good job of trying to make something happen, but
Yeah,
both
they are
lanes
getting
are so safe.
absolutely. They are getting quite a lot of poke down on that misfortune, but with the Braum relic shield stacks, it should be able to heal up relatively efficiently.
See, top lane Urgot pushes a lot harder than Vladimir early, just with the shotgun knees, some basic attack damage. Trying to push in the wave, deny some CS, but taking a lot of harass for it. We'll see if that pays off. Corrupting Potion, taking form to keep him alive.
And you see, right now it looks like new meta EDU is trying to do a little bit of counter jungling. But unfortunately, though, Zack did do a full topside clear, so.
And
noticing
Islamic
that,
Samurai is taking the Raptors. He might look down for Krugs.
Yeah, he's definitely getting Islamic Samurai is definitely getting a lot of that free farm that new meta EDU missed out on because of that unfortunate item start.
Lots of time wasted by new meta EDU. It was good that he acquired the Scuttle Crab. That was a lot of free neutral XP for him, but it's very far behind early. Delay the level 6 spike. They might have a dragon fight where new meta is 5 and Islamic Samurai is 6, and it'll just have to go to the way of Monster Mash.
Absolutely, yeah. Ooh, we do see a fight in the top side. Vlad does use his tool, but other than that, there's no real damage coming out. Just a little trading back and forth here and there.
I think it's good on Spike Gene to try to pressure the Vlad early. That's what you gotta do. Push him down before he can become, the threat on Vladimir. The terror of all ADCs.
Absolutely. Look. Yeah, that Spike Genie is getting quite low here, so he does have to respect the Vladimir Q, but it looks like he's just going to back off and recall. Everything else, though, on the map is kind of just the farm fest. Bot lane has about a 10 CS lead. Everything else is relatively close. The gold lead, being this early in the game, really doesn't mean that much, unfortunately. Yeah.
Helps with Klepto, gets his tier early. I'm hoping that the Whippy and Sume, they realize that 2 Longsword Misfortune outdamages 1 Longsword Ezreal, even though he has more CS and Klepto Gold. Since he bought the tier early, he's not going to have as much damage as he would if he went for an early Sheen, so if they do opt in for a fight, I'd be a little concerned.
It looks like here on the top side we do have some extended trading going on. Vlad proccing his base rush, and Spike Genie, even though he just recalled, is getting quite low again. Oh, Yasuo Q does land, uses his ult, but Morgana's Black Shield, and that looks like all she wrote for the mid lane.
Just a little poke damage, I guess. Try to pressure him out of lane. New meta
Looks
EDU
like
appearing mid.
New meta EDU making that gank on the mid lane now that Yasuo has. But it looks like Morgana might get caught out here. Ignite has been dropped. That might be enough to get the Morgana.
Makes it out. Sub 100 HP.
Really close.
And then Islamic Samurai spent his time top lane on another unsuccessful gank. Summoner's blown by both sides on Lionheart Esports. So, good overall for Monster Mash, but sad that they can't get their kills. I believe you're a little bit behind. If you hit the plus button, you should catch up in a second.
What timestamp are you at right now?
740.
740. Okay, I'm at 745 right now.
Alright, you're good.
Oh, it looks like Vladimir's getting flipped underneath the tower. Is trying to attempt a tower dive, but nothing's gonna come of that, unfortunately. It looks like just a little bit of poke.
Pools, walks away. The tough part is this Urgot's doing a lot of work to try to poke out this Vladimir, and he just hits Q a couple times in the wave, and all of his efforts are for naught.
Absolutely, and oh, Urgot's going in here with the ult. Does land on the Vladimir. Vladimir flashes, but the ult still lands and grabs the kill for the Urgot. Oh boy.
Still tethered in the pool, and then mid lane, Islamic Samurai jumped over the wall. Got Foxy before she could put on the Black Shield, and quick Yasuo ult and a couple auto attacks. It's so far away from her turret that she died for it.
And this looks like it might be trying to do a dragon here for the side of Monster Mash. So with their mid laner not present, this might go uncontested.
They've got bot lane priority, mid lane priority, and new meta EDU has caught up in levels, so this fight will be an actual 50-50, but I don't think Lionheart Esports is looking to contest.
Vi is around the area. Oh, she does go inside the pit. This is going to be a one-way trip, it does look like. But she does secure the mountain break. Wow.
Yikes. Lots of abilities thrown onto the Vi. Good on them to try to turn to it, but for every ability that was thrown onto her, some of it also landed on the Drake and got it low enough for her to smite.
Absolutely. It looks like during that exchange, the Zac did not have smite. So that was a very risky 50-50, which did not turn into the favor for Monster Mash.
Interesting thing to think about is if Magic Milk didn't throw the tornado over the wall, would they have known that they were doing Dragon? They might have thought about it, but they had no vision.
Looks like here in the mid lane, Yasuo is trying to get some poke, but that's about it. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine. Lots of trading from our top and mid laners. Yasuo trying to flex his extra gold. Sitting on 1,000 right now.
Ooh, Yasuo does come down. Looks like the Janna is in the area. Ignite has been dropped on the Yasuo. And their kill does go over to the Vi on the Yasuo, but and now in the top lane we have more fighting. The Vlad ult being dropped. It looks like he's just going to disengage after that.
Healing.
Morgana, again, just barely living with about 60 HP after that exchange there in mid lane, so... We have another gank here on the top side. Holy... Islamic Samurai using the ult on Urgot. Urgot looks like he's dropping the ult onto Vladimir here, they're trying to 2v1. But the Zac ult does get popped. Urgot is still standing tall on his own, but it looks like he might go down here with the Zac respawning. Zac Flash has been popped as well. As they're going back in with very, very, very little HP, looks like Vladimir will pick up the kill though.
That fight was so close. Urgot almost turned that around on them.
That was an intense 2v1 by the Urgot. Shout out to Spike Genie for that. That was impressive.
If you look at what he's building right now, I'm a little disappointed because it looks like he's going to finish his cleaver, but he really needs to buy that Executioner's Culling as soon as possible. Just all these little lane trades, he's coming up behind because Vlad gets to heal up on the wave. But
Yeah,
Vlad played on him, try to 2v1 that.
Vladimir, with his built-in sustain with his Q, is definitely able to out-trade the Urgot, but as we just saw, the extended trades, because of the Conqueror that Urgot has, definitely sides in the favor of Spike Genie, so that was really well played.
So overall, still a pretty even game. Lionheart Esports is down about 1,300 gold. Not too much of a gold lead this early. That's gonna matter. But they are up a dragon, which can show up later, and Baron attempts turret taking, and Elder Dragon.
Looks like here on the top side, we got some more fighting as Urgot decides to go in again on Vladimir. So these trades now are starting to go in the favor of the Urgot. So Vladimir definitely is being postponed on his power spike. Oh, bot side here, heal has been dropped. Ezreal ult has been dropped as well, but does not connect. We got a lot of scrapping going on tonight.
Very upfront positioning from the Radis Please. Looks like new meta EDU and Islamic Samurai might meet up in the bot lane. 6 people bot lane. The mid laners are headed on their way. Ooh, binding misses, forces the Morgana ult.
Looks like the Islamic Samurai is still hanging around that bot side as Ezreal and Janna are still pushed up quite a lot. Buy ult available. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to force something down there. Oh, it looks like Yasuo ult is dropped on the mid lane with the Morgana flash, is able to escape that final Q from Yasuo, which might have been the final blow for Morgana. And once again, Morgana, very, very low HP, able to survive being killed. Top lane, more fighting again as the Urgot ult is not dropped. Vladimir Pool has been popped as Vladimir ult also was used, and Panzora the Great does get the solo kill on top side.
That was close, honestly, for how much healing that he has. I think if he had Execution as calling, he would have won that, but still going to build the Cleaver first. Bio drop mid lane.
Yeah, they're trying to just get the Yasuo off the tower, it looks like, Zach and Vladimir are going to be attempting the Rift Herald, but Fly is hanging around that area and might be able to spot it out what they're attempting. It looks like she's going to be going in here on the Vladimir, but that's a one-way drift, it looks like. Oh, the Urgot is down here now as well. Yasuo is also looking like he was going to path up, but that's looking like all she wrote for that little skirmish there.
Urgot scared him off. I don't know about the last 2 Vi plays were a little interesting. Ulting the Yasuo without Q. Ooh, Morgana binding.
Morgana binding lands on the Janna. It looks like here with the heal being dropped by the Ezreal. Ooh, the Braum able to snipe the Janna. Wow.
Well
with Yasuo recalling here, they might be able to get the turret in the bot side if they decide to push it hard enough, because it doesn't look like anyone's coming to answer this.
Yep, plating's down, so they're going to be doing regular damage to him. They got Demolish on Braum.
Yeah, and
Morgana staying to help push down the first tower.
Absolutely.
The money in Lionheart's pockets.
First turret going down to Lionheart. With that,
frees up. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, oh, never mind. More fighting here in the top lane as Vladimir ult has popped again on the Urgot. And wow.
Yep.
That was 300 plus HP, it looked like, down to 0 in an instant. Wow. Well, that's the power of a Proto Belt Vlad, it looks like. And here it looks like the Lionheart Esports is doing the Dragon as they get their second Mountain Drake of the game so far.
Pretty uncontested. I think Monster Mash was a little slow to that. They didn't have vision control. I don't want to say that they're slow to that. They didn't have any vision on it because they just lost a fight bot lane, and because of that, they didn't have the chance to walk up in time. So good on Lionheart Esports to see that they have control over the river and take it to try to secure themselves another Elemental Drake. Infernal's the next spawn, so if they keep up this... Vi almost going down under her turret.
Vi is very close to being down, and Zach is going in. Sorry, not ult. He's in, then flashes to get the kill onto Vi. But it looks like with Urgot being around, the Janna might get caught out here.
Alright, we might have a second. Nope, still more action.
Well, it looks like here in the top side? Not quite. Oh, it looks like here the Urgot is getting caught out.
5v1.
But he might get... No, this that cast that has been popped. This Misfortune ult also is popped. Vladimir going into the back line as the Vladimir ult was used on Misfortune, bringing her down quite low. As Vladimir does go down by the Zac as well as the Braum, and it looks like Ezreal is going in to try to clean up the kill on this Morgana. No, Morgana again living throughout all these extended fights. Wow, and now because of all that fighting, it looks like Monster Mash is being able to secure the Rift Herald.
Oh, I was going to mention a couple minutes ago when the bottom turret went down, but it frees up Lionheart Esports bot lane to go anywhere else. Wow, more fighting.
Oh, the Vi is looking like she's getting caught out again, as well as she might get a kill here on... Ooh, quite close. Vi does end up going down to the Zac. And Janna has 30 HP left. Wow.
Ooh,
oh,
the
Misfortune
flash Q for Misfortune.
Or yeah, Flash, excuse me, not Flash Q does secure the kill onto the Janna there. Wow. This has been quite a scrappy fight, that's for sure.
Yeah, very scrappy last couple of minutes. Definitely coming ahead in Monster Mash's side. They're ahead about just over 5,000 gold. Still behind in turrets, in dragons, sorry. Ahead in turrets. Their Vladimir and Zac are fed out of their mind. It's a 2-item Zac, so he's super tanky. He's got a lot of resistance, a lot of HP on him. So where they go from here. No neutral objectives on the map. Lots of vision towards the top side, and just Spike Genie still just playing 1v1 against Penzora.
Sorry about that, I'm trying to fix some technical difficulties here at my end. As my screen has now froze at the 1850 mark.
Yikes. A little bit ahead of that. Rift Herald is being dropped topside, taking 4 people to just force the turret down. Janna caught out by the Morgana binding, goes down for Misfortune. Actually, kill goes to Morgana. Apologies. But still pushing, 3v2 with the Rift Herald. Misfortune ult drops to try to kill the wave, and they bring all 5 members to stop that push. Good use of the Rift Herald to get a turret and a half.
And it looks like I'm back now. My game's showing 1950. Does that sound about right?
Just a couple seconds behind still. It's okay, that's not much of a big deal. So now that we've hit the 20-minute mark, both teams, since it's not an absurd lead, but definitely a Monster Mash's side, Lionheart Esports starting a 20-minute Baron. They have vision control over the area, but everybody but Vladimir is... Zac is dead, actually. This is an interesting take, but it looks like it's going down quite quickly. Yep, secured. Teleport in from Vladimir a little bit late, trying to contest the Baron when it was already low. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, looks like I'm back now. Sorry about that, as fixing some issues. Looks like even though the Baron was taken, Ezreal is going to be taken down by the Misfortune.
A huge swing towards Lionheart Esports side. They got a 4-for-1, over an extended 4-for-1 and a Baron out of that play. 3 versus 5 contests by Monster Mash without their jungler or their fed Vladimir went catastrophically, and now the game is in Lionheart Esports' hands. They're only 2k behind in gold. They're about to get a 3rd Drake. A very important one, an Infernal Drake, and they can take their Baron and go to either top or mid, try to break some outers, and try to keep pushing.
Looks like your Urgot is going in, trying to find a fight against Zach. And he does a tremendous amount of damage, because Vi does pick up the kill for that. And it looks like the Yasuo Q will land as a disengage tool for now.
Yeah, this is 2-item Urgot, finally got that Executioner's Calling, so maybe he can side lane against the Vladimir.
Yeah, it looks like I have missed quite a lot.
Yeah, the game went really fast in like the 1 minute that you were gone.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, 2-man push down bot lane. Ezreal and Vladimir, Janna look to be the ones trying to defend against the Morgana Urgot. Probably the strongest members on Lionheart Esports side. Misfortune has some damage, but it's not. She's not even at 2 items yet, so she's still a little slow. The turret going down from the 3v1 push.
Yeah. One thing I do want to point out, Zach's going in here against the Vi, but it looks like Yasuo will not use his ult as Braum out here is popped in order for Lionheart here to disengage. It looks like we have Vladimir as well as Janet coming in, trying to pick up a kill on the Vi.
Well, all of this nothing is going on. Morgana's just free hitting bot turret.
Yeah, it looks like Morgana might solo get a turret there on the bot side with the Baron empowered minions here. Vladimir is going to answer. So this might be a kill for the Vladimir, as Morgana is able to take down the turret. Binding does land. Both ults have been popped. The Zhonya's has also been popped. Tethering does land, which stuns Vladimir, and it looks like she might get away for the time being. Oh, Janna's there, and she will not get away.
Just enough AP to hold W. But game's pretty tied up right now. 5k gold, or about 5k gold in the side of Monster Mash. 3 Drakes on Lionheart Esports side, and then equal turrets. If we look at items, 2-item Misfortune, 2-item Ezreal. I think Ezreal has the stronger 2-item Spike in a general team fight, but it all depends on how that ultimate comes off from Misfortune.
It looks like there's
a Zach.
Vi is trying to 1v1 this Zach, but it looks like with reinforcements, Vi will be backing out here. One thing I want to point out while we have a literal second in the lull is Misfortune is deciding to go lethality Black Cleaver instead of the typical Bork into crit. So this is an interesting choice, especially against a tank Zac and a semi-tanky Vladimir.
Yeah, I think it cuts down on the average DPS a Misfortune can put out, but I don't think it's a bad build in any way. It just makes her more ultimate and ability dependent. Ooh, Janna's stepping up maybe a little bit too far.
Janna ult popped, but so was the Misfortune, the Vi ult, which is then going to be picking up the kill onto the Janna. Meanwhile, Misfortune is getting poked out by the Ezreal as they continue their push down the mid lane here.
Yasuo solo pushing the inhibitor.
Going up 1v1ing a Braum, the classic meme. Looks like Braum is kind of winning this as far as trying to clear the minions out, but he himself is not able to produce enough damage. Meanwhile, mid lane, Vladimir is picking up 2 kills against the Misfortune and the Morgana as they try to continue the chase on the Vi. Ezreal does flash over and lands the Q, which secures the kill onto Vi.
Yeah, very nice flank by Penzor the Great there. Islamic Samurai was just going in, you know, for the mid lane standard engage, for the front to back kind of engage. But Penzor the Great was hiding in the jungle. If you look at Lionheart Esports, or sorry, Monster Mash's vision.
It looks like they're trying to 2v3, 2v4 mid lane as Urgot is taking a lot of damage, but is able to put a lot out himself as he might take down one for no. He gets taken down beforehand as the...
Yeah, I don't think that was the turret to defend there.
No.
I think Inhib's a little bit more important, but Yasuo taking the Inhib turret, getting out barely with his life.
Yeah, even though he was trying to force that inhibitor, was able, like you said, to get out, and looks like Monster Mash is content with pushing back and maybe setting up to take this Baron, which is spawning in about 10 seconds.
10 seconds on Baron, 10 seconds on Air Drake. You know, you might want to go for that Air Drake. But looks like teams are moving in, setting up vision. Monster Mash left their vision as they were backing out. Instant
looks like
by Lionheart
they're
Esports.
starting the Baron. Wow. And with that ward in the back, though, Monster Mash is aware of this.
Zach is very close. He's going to get there in time for the 50-50. Vladimir is looking like he's going to walk down river, so that might be another kind of a flank coming in from him.
This Baron is getting taken quite low. Keep in mind, Urgot is not in this fight, so with the Smite, Vi does secure the Baron, even though Mr. Mouse popped as well as Vladimir.
How much do they lose for it, though? Misfortune dead, Rom dead, Morgana dead.
This is looking like a wipe here in this fight as Urgot's trying to 1v4 again, but he does get the Zac quite low as he gets the flip on Vladimir, as Zac does get popped, but after that, Vladimir does pick up the kill. Wow.
4 for 1 in the favor of Monster Mash. Even though Lionheart gets the Baron, it's basically just taking the Baron away from Monster Mash at this point. Since they only have it on one member, they'll probably lose maybe an inhibitor turret if they turn for it. Death timers are a little short, so they might just back away here, take the air drake on their way out, and leave since they can't push that in too hard. It's a wild game. Still only a 4K gold lead in the favor of Monster Mash.
Yeah, Monster Mash, if I correct me if I'm wrong, but has had this gold lead all game.
Yeah, and to varying degrees, but yes, they've had a gold lead all game.
And Lionheart, for being a little behind all game, is definitely putting up quite the fight, as these team fights may look very much one-sided, but if one skill or two may have landed, that could have been easily a 4 for 4 over there in the Baron pit.
Well, like we said, you know, Monster Mash has the better team fighting comp, but the picks that they get, the first Baron that they snuck was very good for them. The second one, not so much. They're putting in a lot of attempts. They're not afraid to make kind of hero plays to make the game come back for them.
Yeah, they're definitely the best phrase that you said is not afraid. They're willing to pull that trigger on whatever fight that they're committing to. That's for sure. And it appears here at the 29-minute mark, we have a final lull in the action to catch our breaths and to kind of look at the state of the game finally.
Yep. Morgana is sitting on 1250 gold. I wonder what it's going for. She hasn't had a second completed item in a while. 2-item Yasuo with the QSS, 3-item Ezreal, 4-item Vladimir. He is a strong champion right now. He's basically one-shot Misfortune in the last 2 team fights, nullifying what she's been able to do. So she's building them all the Mortius in hopes of survival.
Absolutely. It looks like Vladimir only has about a 2,000 gold league on the Urgot, but even though he does look quite fed, the other members of Monster Mash have almost the same amount of gold as he does. But here we go, Zac going in, has Vladimir using the ult for the backline. Does look like he's going to be one shot to Misfortune, as Misfortune's... Holy cow, there's a lot of fighting.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, where did everyone go?
So Vladimir took over. Oh, Misfortune ult.
Misfortune ult looking like she might be able to pick up Vladimir kill, but that is all with the Ezreal ult coming down. She does flash the Ezreal ult, as that is a 4 for 0 in the side of Monster Mash.
That's most likely game here. About 25 seconds on death timers. They get to take the inhib. They have 4 creeps. Another wave coming in. It's most likely game. A quick recap on that last fight. Vladimir went in with the Zac. Oh, looks like they're taking Misfortune for free.
Yeah, the Yasuo. Actually, Vladimir's picking up the kill onto Misfortune. And that was, I believe, an unofficial quadra kill for Vladimir.
He did a lot in that last fight. He took both the carries, basically both the carries, Urgot and Misfortune in that last fight.
By picking up a kill on the Yasuo and as well on the Ezreal. Looking for Janna as well, but Vladimir does... Actually, no. Janna flashes to avoid the kill onto that. Vladimir looking for the kill on the Misfortune. Does get it as well. Urgot gets the kill on the Zac.
Let's
Yo, Janna's ending the game, everyone.
Yeah. Alright, that was a very chaotic game to say the least. Lots of interesting decisions by both sides, really. Coming out ahead by Monster Mash.
Was
I don't.
that was quite the game. I think
I have to commend Lionheart Esports. They didn't give up. They did not lie down. They fought for every mile that Monster Mash had to take, but that Vladimir damage was crazy.
yeah, Vladimir did
Almost 40k.
40k. The closest one, which is sort of no surprise, is the Urgot, which dealt the 36,000.
Yep.
But I think that was definitely a solo carry type of game for the Vladimir, because not only did he have the most damage, he was the most fed, obviously, on his team.
He definitely got facilitated by his team. I wouldn't say a solo carry performance. The Zac did a lot of disruption. The Janna did a lot of disruption. And Ezreal's damage is nothing to scoff at. 27,000 is still a lot. So I think it was a lot of team effort, but definitely the heavy what was it, Polar, the ox of the group was Penzora the Great on his Vladimir.
Yeah. I think looking back, solo carry probably wasn't the right term I was looking for, but he definitely, as far as stats go, showed up,
Led
I
the
guess is
way.
a better way to put it.
Highest level in the game, 225 CS. That's also highest in the game. He was very good performance by him. I'd say MVP. I don't know about you.
I definitely will give MVP to Vladimir. He not only did the most damage, but was able to get to the back line in the fights. Like
He
his
didn't purchase control wards though.
oof,
Yeah.
feels bad, man. But I do actually want to give a shout out to New Meta ADU. Even though he did have that little oof in the jungle start, he was at most points in the game higher level than Zac once they got past level 6. So he did catch up quite well and was a good facilitator on his team to get a couple key people ulted to secure kills. So shout out
Yeah.
to New Meta EDU for that as well.
I guess he had a couple of very good smites. Lots of interesting choices for him. I think he's definitely the most fearless person on Lionheart Esports from that game at least. But yeah, let's move on to Nocturnal Dragons versus SPK Reapers in our next match.